Slides into first. The run scores, and the Growlers win the ball game.
All right, well, Growlers postgame show wrapping up a 6-0 Mallards win over the Growlers here at Homer Striker. Sam O'Toole, Jack Benjamin on hand. And it was a rough one for the Growlers start to finish. The Mallards get going with a run in the first. They attack on a couple more. They have a couple multi-run frames. And Kevin Martin gave the Growlers some good innings, but just not enough today.
Yeah, it was a good start. I mean, it was a typical Martin start, a few runs. It was 4 today. He got you 7 innings, did his job, but the story of this one, no offense really. Kevin, I thought, looked pretty well. This prolific offense for the Mallards were able to get a couple runs, and in the first inning, that first run was huge. Obviously, the game-winning run as Kalamazoo was shut out, but 1 through 9, a good lineup that Mallards tossed at Kevin today, and I thought he did pretty well dealing with it, and then just not enough offense today for Kalamazoo.
He walks the first hitter of the game in Josh Stowers. Stowers ends up scoring on an RBI groundout from Jarrett. They get another in the fourth on a groundout, and you say, okay, well, they're scoring runs on groundouts, and then all of a sudden they get a triple down the line from Zach Jarrett, a couple of hard-hit balls. I think the important thing here is that Kevin did go 7. They didn't have to dig too deep into their bullpen, and good to see if Jeff Cross get a couple of innings. Obviously gives up a few runs, but good to get some of these middle relief guys some innings here.
No earned runs for Jeff Cross. Finally got some action, as you were talking about in the broadcast, in a little over a week now. So Jeff came on, pitched pretty well besides those 2 runs we were able to get out. Got a strikeout, and that last 9th inning was pretty good for Jeff. Story of this one, the 4 errors for Kalamazoo in the offense, but the pitching has been pretty good so far. It was a sub-2 ERA for Kalamazoo in July coming into today. Obviously, that's going to raise a little bit, but story of this one was the lack of offense. Only 1 multi-hit growler, and that was Camden Duzenak.
Yeah, you mentioned the errors, and Duzenak, a couple of those errors as well. He did make up for it with the bat a little bit, and the Growlers threatened. They threatened a couple of times, actually. They left 2 on in both the 2nd, 5th, and 7th innings, and the 7th inning was really the one where the Growlers, they're trailing 4-0. You figure, oh, they're going to get a run here. Trey Gans rips a single to right field. Camden Duzenak rounds third. Looks like he's going to score, and an incredible throw by Zach Jarrett. Nails him at the plate. Tough one for the Growlers there. It looked like Camden might have had a hand in, but that's one you just shake your head at. It's baseball, and really might have kind of stopped all chances the Growlers had, as that's a play that could have gone both ways.
Well, it was just hit so sharply that Jarrett just had to get in front of it, field it on one hop, and hum one home, and that was a great throw by Zach Jarrett out in right field. Just cut down Duzenak. Nothing he could do there. Had a great slide. Slid to the outside part of the plate. Tried sneaking his hand in there, but a great tag by Stefanski, too. Just a bang-bang play that the Mallards came out on top, and they came out on top in a lot of facets of the baseball game today. Pitching, hitting, and defense. Just all Madison today in this one.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to see who had a hit as far as the Growlers went. They only totaled, well, it was, I believe, 6 of them. So Connor Smith had another hit. He extends his mini hitting streak a little bit. Jordan Verdon had one in the first inning. Duzenak, we mentioned the double. A single by Trey Gans as well, and Trey Gant also a single. Those 2 hitting back-to-back. But the story of the day was Mitchell Kilkenny, the Texas A&M product, freshman, sensational again against the Growlers. Last time in Madison, he went just 5 innings. This time, he gives them 7 brilliant innings. You look at his final line, and it was just fantastic. I believe he struck out. He struck out 6, walked 2, the 5 hits. The Growlers just had no answer for him. He had them off balance. He could throw the curveball, the fastball for strikes. It didn't matter tonight.
Big-time prospect is Kilkenny as a true freshman for Texas A&M, sub-2 ERA in the bullpen, 20-plus innings. Wasn't like he just got some sparing action in late games again in blowouts, and today was sensational. As you said, 1 earned run all season he's allowed. Came off an 11 strikeout performance in his previous start. Just carved up Kalamazoo today. That's now 2 starts. They haven't been able to do much against Kilkenny, and so tomorrow B.J. Butler, call him a streak stopper. That's what Kilkenny is. His victory against Kalamazoo, I think that was Mallards, they were 1-6 at that time, and so a big win for Madison there, and right now they continue a little bit of a streak here. They're now 3-2 in the second half, and so the Growlers tomorrow with B.J. Butler looking for the same kind of thing on the mound.
Yeah, B.J. Butler has been fantastic. 35 strikeouts to 3 walks, 2-2, 1.01 ERA, and before we talk about B.J. a little bit, the Growler offense, what do they have to do to get going a little bit tomorrow? They're going to be facing, I believe, Heath Renz for the first time that they're going to see him. So Obviously, they manufacture only 6 hits today. They don't get a run on the board. Couple of days now, really since the first inning yesterday in Kenosha where they plated 4 runs, that their bats have struggled. What do they have to do to get some early offense? Because B.J. Butler doesn't need a whole lot of run support, but he does need some.
Well, today there was a lot of at-bats that went to 2 strikes, so a lot of Growlers hitters protecting for most of the day. Hard to make hard contact, really, when that happens. So try to look for that first pitch fastball. I know it's kind of counterproductive when you want to try to get a pitcher out with a pitch count, but look for that fastball early in count. Find the pitch, because most of the time the best pitch you're going to see is early in the count. Madison Mallards' staff has great stuff. They can put guys away. A lot of strikeout guys, saw a couple of them in Smith and Bacon out of the bullpen, and obviously Kilkenny. And so same kind of thing tomorrow. I'd be looking for that fastball. Growlers a great first pitch fastball hitting team, and I try to take advantage of that early tomorrow.
And B.J. Butler, we mentioned on the mound, making a start. Might be his final start. We don't know exactly. But last time out, took a loss actually against the Lakeshore Chinooks. He went 7 innings but gave up a couple of runs. And he threw a lot of pitches in that ball game. And Madison, at the lineup that can foul off a lot of pitches, I think we saw 2 or 3 at-bats today of 8 or 9 pitches or more. So, B.J., what does he have to do to keep that pitch count down a little bit and silence this prolific Madison offense?
Well, watching that felt like one of his worst starts of the season, but he's got a 1.0 ERA, and so BJ 2-2 on the season. Been a couple of games where he hasn't gotten great run support, so I think that's going to be the big deal for him tomorrow. And we saw that in Game 2 against Kenosha with Devin Pauline. They got him a 4 spot, and he pitched pretty well through 7. I think that's going to be the key for BJ. Get him some run support early, and then he can cruise there out. Going to be one of the better teams he's faced. He has faced Wisconsin Rapids as well, so I'm looking forward to the BJ Butler start. Just pitch backwards like Nick Hutchins, the catcher, talks about. I'm sure he's going to be catching him again for the 6th time of the season tomorrow. And so pitches backwards. We'll start you with a curveball or a slider and then finish you off with that high 80s fastball. Great pitcher BJ is, just has to bring his usual stuff. Has pitched well at home this year too.
Couple stars of the game quickly offensively in this one for the Madison Mallards. Zach Jarrett, a triple, an RBI groundout as well. He was very good. Josh Stowers, top of the order, a couple of runs scored, an RBI single as well. A couple guys had RBIs in this Mallards team. Bryce Carter and Nate Pallas at the bottom of the order producing as well, and an RBI groundout from Noah Cummings had a hit as well in his first game as a Mallard. So before we wrap things up officially, we'll get you some scores around the Northwoods League, see kind of where the Growlers stand right now after this loss.
Starting the North Division 1 final, Wilmar over Rochester 10-6. Elsewhere in the North, Waterloo on top of Eau Claire at home right now, 5-1. That one's in the top of the 5th. Scoreless is La Crosse and St. Cloud in the top of the 3rd, and Duluth and Mankato playing right now in the top of the 2nd. Duluth on top of the Moondogs, 1-0. In the South, a couple finals to report. Battle Creek Bombers defeat the Rockford Rivets at home 4-2. Thunder Bay in interdivision play top the Woodchucks at home 4-2. Kenosha Kingfish on top of the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors right now, 2-1. That's in the bottom of the 8th. Kenosha trying to win a couple in a row. The Green Bay Bullfrogs lead the Lakeshore Chinooks 2-1. That one's also in the bottom of the 6th. So a few finals, a couple of scores going the Growlers' way here with the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors losing right now, and that'd be a big game for Kalamazoo.
One that does not go their way, obviously, is this one in terms of Madison beating them, and they had entered a game up of Madison in the second half standings. They're going to fall back 3 total of the Madison Mallards. They'll be even with them now in the second half standings. Rockford, first game they've dropped in the second half. They've been awfully impressive, came in 4-0 coming into tonight. So once again, your final score, 6-0. Mallards win it here at Homer Stryker Field. Final line, Madison 6 runs, 7 hits, an error, and 6 left on base for the Growlers. No runs, 6 hits, 4 errors, and 8 left on base. Winning pitcher Mitchell Kilkenny, his sensational 7-inning performance brings him to 3-0. Kevin Martin falls to 2-4. There was no save. Time of game, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Attendance, 1921. That's 1,921. Well, for my partner Sam O'Toole, all of our great crew, our director Derek right here, all of our media team, our scorekeepers, and everyone involved in this production of Growlers Baseball, we want to thank you. I'm Jack Benjamin signing off. Once again, Growlers will get another one tomorrow. That's always the good news about this Northwoods League, a chance to bounce back, get back to their winning ways, and start gaining some ground in the Northwoods League South. Once again, final score, Mallards 6, Growlers nothing. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.